On uneven bars, Lisa Young did well to score 9.4. But again, it was the beam which was our downfall in every sense. 3 girls coming off. Hayley Price unfortunately missing her spectacular mount. Our only real success was Natalie Davis. Her score, 9.4. Now, the girls came back to do very well on floor, all scoring over 9, with Kathy Williams interpreting her music very well indeed. So at the end of the day, our girls remain in 17th place.
Tatyana Frolova of the Soviet Union coming up with her second optional vault. She scored 9.8 on her first one, and that was a beauty. A beautiful vault, a perfect landing. This, of course, we're now watching is the battle for the team medals. Watch this flight on. Straight Tsukahara, beautifully performed, and she scored 9.8 on the first one. Frolova's score was 9.85. Natalya Yoschenko, she scored 9.7 in the compulsories. A Cuervo vault.
This is Simonova Renciu, 15 years of age. Stalder. These Romanian girls really putting together a tremendous team effort. There are those long swings again. Just missing the lower bar. That's that shoot front and half a turn to finish. 4'11" she is. Only one girl in the Romanian team over 5 foot tall.
And Yoschenko scored 9.9. Albina Shishova. A round-off, full twisting Tsukahara. Her carryover score was 9.7 from the compulsories. Here's another look at that first vault in this optional section. Onto the springboard, a full twist. And there, a good landing.
Laura Cutina next to go for Romania. The last girl, that was Renciu, scored 9.9. So they're giving nothing away to the Soviet Union. That easy straddle over that lower bar into the long swings, and then a catcher, release and catch. Crosshand Jaeger, that move is called, named after the East German. Music in the background for the floor exercises, of course, but a lovely atmosphere and a double tuck back somersault. And what an asymmetric bars these Romanian girls are putting together. Simonova Renciu's score, 9.9.
Shishova scored 9.9. Now, Olga Mustapanova, 15 years of age, only 4'9", first major competition, signals to the head judge and comes up for her first optional vault. A Cuervo in the pike position, the vault.
What a start by the Romanian girls. Another 9.9 from Laura Cutina. Agaki, who really is one of their great stars. Lavinia Agaki. Third in the Zagreb World Cup. Second in Gothenburg in those European Championships. European champion on beam. What a performer. Beautifully spotted double back. And Lavinia Agaki has made a big impression on these championships already. And so have the Romanians. Russians scoring well, so too are these girls.
And Olga Mustapanova coming up for her second vault. She scored 9.9 on her first optional vault. A Cuervo in the top position. Olga Mustapanova.
As Szabo comes up to prepare for the asymmetric bars, the first 10 of the night has gone on the board. Lavinia Agaki. Ekaterina Szabo, 4'8", 16 years of age. A delight to watch this girl, and what a team the Romanians. Kachev to start. And the atmosphere really buzzing. Turisheva twist. It's a 1.5. Into the long swings. And another beautifully spotted double back dismount.
And Mustapanova scores the first 10 of the night for the Soviet Union. What a superb vault it was. And now the world champion, the overall world champion, Olga Vishilova, who has scored a 9.9 on her first optional vault, is coming up for her second. She scored 9.75 in the compulsories, and she has to follow that superb vault by Mustapanova, who scored a maximum 10. And this little lady knows what it's all about. A pike Cuervo, a perfect landing. Just 4'7" of her, waving away to that huge crowd.
And back comes Ekaterina Szabo, and another 10 for Romania. 2 10s from the asymmetric bars. Agaki and now Szabo.
And now Vishilova has scored yet another 10. What a performance, what a competition. Natalya Yoschenko, the first of her optional vaults. A round off, a full twisting Sukahara. And my goodness, we've seen some 10s. That one also be a 10 too. And it's a 10. She scored a 10. The Soviet Union have now got 3 10s in their first set of exercises. The Romanians, of course, have 2. What a battle between these two countries.
Well, after one piece of apparatus, that's the gap that's grown to the Soviet Union. They only dropped 0.25 from a perfect score. They're now 0.8 ahead of Romania, and Romania are going away from the German Democratic Republic.
And just starting her exercise, Tatyana Frolova on the asymmetric bars, who scored 9.8 on the compulsories. It's up to a Stolder. Onto the upper bar. Giant swing, and a double back somersault to finish. And she scores 9.95. What a great performance. The tiny figure of the world and European all-round champion, Olga Vishilova, coming up for her asymmetric bars exercise. She scored 9.75 in the compulsories. Now her optional exercise. Beautiful. There's a catch-off. Stalder. He swings and stands. Long swing there. A shoot, front, and a half turn to dismount.
And the European champion, Lavinia Agaki, mounts the beam for Romania, having seen Mihaela Stanulet score 9.8. Very bold performer, this girl. Already a 10 to her credit. And this is the piece of apparatus she claimed as her own in Gothenburg earlier this year. Perky little face. Lavinia Agaki, 17 now, 4 feet 10. What about that? Running front somersault on the beam, rarely seen. But Shaposhnikova balance. No 10s on the beam in these championships so far. Every readjustment, of course, catches the judge's eye. But that's not bad. That really is an excellent performance. Lavinia Agaki.
Olga Bicharova scored 9.9. Now it's Natalya Yoschenko for the Soviet Union. She had a 9.8 in the compulsories. She was 6th in the 1981 World Championship in the all-round competition. Straddle over the lower bar. Real beat down. And again. A Markelov, that was that turn, letting go of the top bar. A Stalder, again beating on that lower bar. A full twisting shoot front to dismount. The landing wasn't too good, but that was Natalya Yoschenko. Let's have a look at it again. Turns there, but as she lands, she has to take 2 or 3 steps back.
Lavinia Agaki's score on beam, 9.9. Ekaterina Zabu, opening on beam. She's following Agaki, who scored 9.9. She's a brilliant beam performer, but she came off in the European Championships in Gothenburg when she looked set for a very good score indeed. Zabu just 16. But regarded by many as the next great all-round talent in Europe. Oh, marvelous series. 4 flick-flacks in a row. Tremendous rhythm. Marching about, she's stomping about on that beam at the moment. And that is a disaster for Romania. She gets back on immediately, but she must lose 0.5, and that could be the biggest error in these championships. What a tragedy when she was going so well.
The last competitor On the asymmetric bars for the Soviet Union is Natalya Yoschenko. And the Soviet team has been scoring well. They've got 19.9, 19.95, 298, so they are really keeping the pressure on the Romanians, keeping ahead of them. And here this comparatively tall young lady at 5'1½". A free straddle over that lower bar. Kachov into a Delchev almost immediately. This is a very good exercise. Well, she scored 9.9 in the compulsory. She's performing well in this optional too. Stalder up to the handstand. And a double twisting dismount, and there was not a fault there. That was superb. And Yoschenko has scored 9.95.
So after two pieces of apparatus, the gap growing for the Soviet Union. They now look uncatchable.
The third set of exercises, the Soviet Union on the beam. Albina Shishova stands just 5 feet and all around third. What a beautiful mount. Flick back off that springboard. A full twisting back somersault, and she managed to hold it. The content, fantastic. Free walkover. Two free forward rolls. What a beautiful balance. Remember Shaposhnikova doing that in the years past, into that side splits. One hasn't got to be misled by the music that's in the hall, because she seems to be doing it almost in time to the music. A full twisting back somersault to finish by Albina Shishova, and that was a very nice performance. She scored 9.7 in the compulsories. Here's that finish. Full twisting double back. And Shishova has scored 9.9. Olga Vishorova. The lowest scoring, strange as it may seem, of the Soviets in the compulsories, 9.65. But look at that balance. And she almost lost her balance there. Fleck, and she almost lost it. If she'd fallen off, of course, that would have been an automatic 0.5. Well, that whistling of disapproval is at one of the other scores in the building. It's a Chinese score. Nothing to do with this young lady, but remember, there are 4 exercises going on at the same time. It must be very, very distracting indeed. But still she goes on. 2 errors in this program so far. A double tap back somersault to finish, but 2 errors in the program, and she only scored 9.65 in the compulsories. Here's Maxikanauk with her second vault. She scored 9.9 on her first vault. A Sukahara with a full twist, and it scores 9.95. Look at this first flight. There, half turn on, full twist off, Beautiful landing, 9.95. And Bicharova's score, as to be expected, was a low 9.6. Natalya Yoschenko scored 9.7 in the compulsories. Split, and oh, she's off. That's an automatic 0.5 deduction from whatever else she may do. Now, we've had it with the Romanians, we've now had it with the Russians. What a performance. And there's a great content in this program. Marvelous control. Free walkover. Two flick-flacks and a double back tuck somersault to dismount, but of course she has lost an automatic 0.5. No wonder she looks a bit disappointed. Really high dismount.
And Katerina Zabu next to go on floor, having seen Lavinia Agaki score 9.9. Twisting double back somersault straight, spotted it beautifully. Recovered from the disappointment of falling from the beam. European junior champion at 12, this girl, still only 16. Oh, a 10th loss there after a marvelous tumbling routine as she steps outside the 12-meter square. She packs so much in. Crowd dying to get behind her. Want to join in. That for a double back. There's room for a triple there. And you can hear what the audience thought about it. What a pity she has to be docked that 10th for stepping outside the square.
And now Natalya Yoschenko, who scored 9.8 in the compulsories. In the European Championship, she finished 4th in this exercise. Spin there, a complete turn, 360 degrees. She really looks very safe. A stomach roll around the beam. That is quite a unique move. Natalya Yoschenko. And the straddle up to a handstand. Double tuck back somersault for dismount. Natalya Yoschenko.
Well, that's unbelievable. Szabo has scored 10 on floor, and it was clear to everyone that she stepped outside and should have lost a 10th. Tremendously exciting routine that she did. It was worth 10, but we all saw that she stepped outside, but still she got 10 from all the judges.
And Natalya Yoschenko has scored a 10. Yet another 10 by the Soviet Union, and that will, of course, cancel out the fall by Natalya Yoschenko.
Mirela Barbelata on vault. She's already scored 9.95. This is her second vault. The Romanians vaulting very well. Spots another one. Yet again, the full twisting Sukahara done straight. Maxi Ganauk on asymmetric bars. And the audience really willing her on. This great champion. Four golds at World Championship level, 4 at European, 1 Olympic gold. Recovered from surgery this year on her elbow when there was only a 10% chance of recovery. And here she is, back to superb gymnastics. Maxi Ganauk at Voronin Hop, now 19. As Alan Weeks was saying once, the elfin dwarf of the team, now the tallest in the East German team at 5'2". There's the flyaway, shoot front, half a turn. Crowd delighted as well, they must be, for she scores another 10. Agaki flying on that vault, but already there's been a 10. Barbelata of Romania has scored the 8th 10 of the night on vault. 1.5 twisting Sukahara, certainly the most difficult vault that we've seen. She's got 9.9 to her credit so far, and she'll be turning to watch the scoreboard now. Lavinia Agaki, she gets 9.9. Barbelata scored 10.
Olga Mostapanova, she scored 9.9 at the compulsories. A full twisting double back somersault. This 15-year-old from Moscow, full of vitality. A double twisting back somersault at the end of that sequence. Double tuck back somersault to finish. Olga Mostapanova, the 15-year-old from Moscow, again delighting the crowd and her teammates. Just take a look at this again. 2 flick-flacks up into a double tuck back somersault. And she scores 9.9. The very last competitor in this overall team championship for the Soviet Union, Natalya Yoschenko, the 18-year-old from Norilsk, who scored 9.85 in the compulsories. Elegant, graceful. And what about that? Full twisting double back somersault. into a double tuck-back somersault. Style may be reminiscent because she has the same coach as the great Lyudmila Teresheva, who we saw in London many, many times, former world champion. Height on that double tuck-back somersault. That was beautiful. Natalya Yoschenko scored 9.85 at the compulsories. What will she now score in the optional? Just look at the height on this. Up she goes. Double tuck-back somersault. And a beautiful landing. And she scores 9.9. And there is the final score. The Soviet Union have retained that team title, and that's the 8th time in the 13 occasions that the World Team Championships have been held. Romania in second place, and East Germany come through on the last item of exercise to take the bronze. It must have been helped to a great extent by that 10 by Maxik and Auk. Well, it's been another great night of gymnastics. We've seen 9 maximum 10 marks. Tomorrow night, you can see the men's all...